In the interest of being solutions guys, which we try to be, right? When we talk about Brian Burns being traded, we don't just want to say, should you trade him? That's too open-ended. Should you trade him? Well, what's the offer? Would I trade him for Kyle Juszczyk straight up? No. No disrespect to Kyle Juszczyk. He's a fullback. Would I trade him for Patrick Mahomes straight up? Yes.
Yeah.
Are the offers somewhere in between? Probably. So let's try to settle on some realistic offers or a realistic offer that we can actually have a conversation about. Right? Because should you trade Brian Burns is very much a question that is lacking information.
Gotta have some context.
You need to know, well, what am I getting back?
Yeah.
Would you trade your car? What's the next question? Well, what are you offering?
Am I getting a motorcycle?
What am I getting in? Oh, the motorcycle. It's always back. Always working over there, Dennis Cox. Always working. Could it be, I don't know, a local professional sports themed motorcycle? Pulling that out of nowhere. Which is why I appreciated an email that both Dennis and I got from Paul here in the office, who sent it to us about a potential trade that's being leaked out there. Some reporters, leaked is the wrong word, hypothesized about. Some reporters are guessing and maybe even insinuating that the Lions are interested in Brian Burns, and if they aren't, they should be. The Lions have the number 29 overall pick. They have the 29th pick, which is a first-rounder. The Panthers have no first-rounders. Would you take 29 for Brian Burns becomes the natural question, to which my response is no. Would you take the 29 plus? Okay, well, now we're talking. Here's what I mean by that. The Panthers turned down, according to Adam Schefter, 2 first-round picks and more a couple off seasons ago for Brian Burns. The Rams were reportedly offering 2 firsts and more. I think it was 2 firsts and a third, and they turned it down. Guess what offer is not coming anymore? 2 first-round picks and a third. But I don't see the Panthers saying, hey, we turned down two firsts and a third. Yeah, let me accept 1 late first. They're going to need more than that. And I think Brian Burns is worth more than that. I think he's proven to be worth more than that. And to a team like the Lions, I think he's worth more than that. Because think about what the Lions are trying to do. The Lions are trying to pair another elite edge rusher with Aiden Hutchinson. Because Aiden Hutchinson is really good and he attracts a lot of attention, and they need someone on the opposite side of the formation to take advantage of not having all that attention, right? Because if they're focused in on Aiden Hutchinson, Brian Burns will get one up on a backside tackle, and if he can win his one-on-one, which we know he can, that'll be a very advantageous situation for the Lions. So if I'm the Panthers, I know that the Lions want to make this happen. I know that they would benefit from it. I need more. And the safety net here is awesome for the Panthers. In any negotiation for Brian Burns, I am playing hardball. Do you know why? Because if I strike out, the big bad consequence is I keep Brian Burns.
Yeah.
Which is not bad, right? I put the franchise tag on him, and he's with us another year. That's the big problem. That's the oh no. So the safety net isn't that bad, so I'm not worried about it. So I'm playing hardball. I'd take the 29 and Jameson Williams for Brian Burns. I'd take the 29th overall pick and Jameson Williams for the exact reason we talked about earlier with the Panthers. They need to solve multiple problems at once. If you trade away Brian Burns for the 29th pick, let's say the 29th pick solves the problem. Let's say you get an offensive lineman. Let's say you get a wide receiver, something that you need. All right, but guess what? Now you need an edge rusher because you got rid of Brian Burns. You just traded a problem for a problem, right? You went from we need a wide receiver to we need an edge rusher. However, if you trade for 29 and Jameson Williams, you might need an edge rusher, but if you solve your offensive line with the 29th pick and you solve your wide receiver with Jameson Williams, you just solved 2 problems with 1 solution. Right? You just used one player to solve 2 problems. Even if you create a problem, the vacancy of an edge rusher, you now have, your net +1 in the solutions category, which is what you need to be. I'm only taking back something that solves two problems because you'd be creating a new problem by trading Burns. And then on top of that, the Jameson Williams of it is exciting because what we talk about, I think it was last week, we talked about what wide receiver should you go get for Bryce Young to be his number one. I said, I don't know, ask Bryce. And the reason why I said that is because around the league, the best offenses are built around great relationships between your quarterback and your number one wide receiver. From Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown, who are like the godparents of each other's kids, or one of them is, I don't think they both have kids. One of them is the godparent of the other's kid.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Waddle, Tua Tagovailoa played together at Alabama. Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow played together at LSU. Like, we can go on and on down the list. C.J. Stroud is reportedly, like, the moment he was drafted, he went straight from, like, thank you, this is so much fun, I'm so happy to be a Houston Texan, to draft Tank Dell as soon as he can. I worked out with him. He's a stud. And then he was one of the biggest surprises of the NFL season was Tank Dell, and C.J. Stroud was much better when Tank Dell was on the field. So you need to get Bryce Young his guy. Guess who was his guy in college? Jameson Williams. Mm-hmm. When Bryce Young won the Heisman Trophy, his number one wide receiver was Jameson Williams. So if you can get him as part of the Brian Burns deal, I'm in. I am in. Now, when we were talking about this, we're trying to get as specific as we can, by the way, because it's a yes or a no, right? Would you trade Brian Burns? I don't know. I need more information. Would you trade Brian Burns for the number 29 pick? No. Would you trade him for the number 29 and Jameson Williams? I would. Dennis's response off air was, you might have to kick in a fourth.
Yeah,
right?
There might be some other, lower mid-round picks that kind of balance things out.
I fully expect Detroit to ask, and I fully expect to say no. Mm-hmm. Because guess what? Panthers need to hit on that fourth-round pick. The Panthers need that, maybe not to be like an all-out number one wide receiver flashy solution, but they might need to get a swing interior offensive lineman there that hits. They may need to get a nickel corner that they can trust. They may need to get an off-ball linebacker that they can trust with that fourth-round pick. I don't think they can afford to give anything else up.
They only have 6 picks this coming year. Now, it could be something along the lines of, okay, it's Brian Burns in a fourth. You get that first, Jameson Williams in a fifth. So at least you're not losing a pick. It's falling down the draft board, but
you would be trusting yourself a lot to knock some home runs in the late rounds.
You have to.
If you want to talk about a swap for like 2025, have that conversation, a fourth for a fifth in 2025, just to grease the wheels to get it done. Mm-hmm. Fine. But I want it to essentially be Brian Burns for 29 and Jameson Williams. And if the Lions say no, which is their right, I don't think they need Jameson Williams. They have Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's pretty good. They have Sam Laporta catching passes. He's pretty good. They have Jahmyr Gibbs out of the backfield. He's pretty good. They have Josh Reynolds, who, when I said he was their fourth option in the playoffs, when they kept throwing it to him with the game on the line, all Lions fans told me I was ridiculous, and he's actually their second option. So great. Keep him. You don't need Jameson Williams if all that works. You don't need Jameson Williams if all that works. You might as well turn him into half of Brian Burns. And then have him and Aiden Hutchinson be great. Meanwhile, Bryce Young will have a guy he can grow old with here in Carolina. Still on a rookie deal. Win-win, right? Win-win. Every deal should be a win-win. I'd do that. Would you? You can let us know on Twitter at Donnelly Sports, or you can let us know on our YouTube at 99.9 The Fan. You can comment on a video. We check those pretty often.